Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Movie Critic Rob here with the Movie Channel. I'm actually broadcasting for the very first time on YouTube Live. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this change. It's not really a change because I'm still using Google Hangouts, but it's a little bit of a change, so there's something to get excited about. With that said, we are going to be talking about, like I said, Mechanic Resurrection. Jason Statham's one of the many Jason Statham action movie franchises that he is by now, I guess, famous for, although for me, the greatest movie he has ever made outside of the Transporter and Expendable series is The Italian Job. But that said, we have a new Jason Statham movie, so let's check it out. Let's see what's going on here. I watched the first Mechanic. I thought it was all right. What I really saw in the first Mechanic, it was really gritty. It really embraced its R rating to the point where there were some scenes that made me a tad uncomfortable. So when I was going to see this film and when I was judging on whether or not I wanted to go see this film, I was kind of apprehensive because I knew how much of an R the original Mechanic was. And so I was like, oh boy, do I really want to go see this? To my, I guess, surprise and joy, this one is more PG-13 than R. I don't really, it was one of those movies where you really don't know why why it's rated R. It's not like Deadpool where, they embrace the rated R and that's who he is. And I thought that's who the Mechanic was. That's the world that he lived in, kind of rated R, really gritty thing. And if you're gonna do rated R, you have to have a reason to do it. This really felt like if you took out the blood splatters and you took away one or two cuss words, you could have done a PG-13 Mechanic and it would not have been that much of a difference. With that said, how is the movie actually when you look at it and when you watch it? Well, I can honestly say the first 30 minutes of this movie are slow. I do not buy this fakey romance between Jason Statham and Jessica Alba. I think Jessica Alba, I'm sorry that I'm saying this, and me, I try not to be negative. Even the bad movies, I try to be as positive as I can, with the exception of a very notable few. But it kind of seems that Jessica Alba was just cashing a paycheck in for this. Like, she put no effort into it whatsoever. And when she was delivering some of these lines that are supposed to be heavy because she's talking about sex trafficking, I'm like, you have to sell this. If this is your crux for being here, if this is the point of your character, sell it for me, please, Jessica, sell it. But of course, what you get, and it's exactly what I knew I was going to get, is she's there so that you can look at Jessica Alba. Not so that she can act and have a good part, because her acting absolutely just is atrocious in this movie. But, of course, eye candy. That's why she's there. I don't get it. And, and it's funny because everybody, I'm as against the, I'm not even going to go into it because, I'm at a loss for words because here you have Marvel over here, DC over here, and I know I'm comparing this to a comic book film. Bear with me. You have Marvel, you have DC, who are now looking into creating strong female characters. One has arguably been doing that for a long time, even though we haven't had a female-led movie, but strong female characters have been the norm. DC gave us Wonder Woman, which is an awesome female character, strong female character, and I'm fine with female characters. I love female characters that are strong, that have a point. If you're going to play the damsel in distress, okay, cool. Then you have a point in the story where you make sense as to why you are what you are. But Jessica Alba's character could have been replaced with anybody else, and it literally, the way she played it, it could have been done by anybody. And I argue to say this, that anybody else could have done it better than Jessica Alba. But she's there so that you can look at her body. And that's it. Because, of course, this is a action movie, and it's rated R action movie, so what the heck? Yeah, throw in some body. makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me because it's completely superfluous. And the whole like 30 minutes, the beginning 30 minutes of this film, you're sitting there and you're watching this romance that's as forced as you can get between Statham and between Jessica Alba. They're both explaining their backstories to each other, and Jessica Alba is heartbroken because the people that she works with are blackmailing her. And I know I'm getting into spoiler territory, but really, come on, you've seen it. It's been in a dozen films. It's not really new. Nothing's new here. I'm gonna save the spoilers that I'm not gonna tell you for when it actually gets interesting, because this I'll just tell you so that you can be warned. The backstory is lame. Not only is it lame, but it's not lame in the sense that the actual backstory is lame, but the way she sells it is lame because she does not do a good job. If you're telling me that your purpose in life is to protect orphan children, orphan girls, orphan boys from human trafficking, then you better have some conviction behind it. Otherwise, you had no point. And I do not buy the whole thing. You're there so that Jason Statham can handle you a little bit and that we can see your body. That's exactly why you're there, and that's the only reason why you're there. That's it. It's hilarious. And I'm like, why are we spending time on this? Now, after those 30 minutes are over and she gets kidnapped and she's off the screen, the movie kicks off, and all of a sudden now we're having fun. And I found myself absolutely having fun with this movie. It was, and that was a nice transition, wasn't it? I completely hate the story, but I had fun. But that's what this movie is. And it's funny because when Jessica Alba leaves and the story actually kicks off, she gets kidnapped, and then, of course, he has to go find her, and I don't know why he's compelled to go find her. What would have been better, and Chris Stuckman said this, and I'm going to say it, is if they would have been married, because he's supposed to be retired in this movie for a while. And so I'm like, okay, why don't, instead of giving us the forced, ham-fisted love story, have them have been married for the past 3.5, 4 years. Then I will buy the fact that Jason Statham is doing all of these nutty things in order to save this woman whom he just met and had slept with. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I'm like, we are beyond this. We are in a period of the Dark Knight where we have movies that are interesting, that are fun. We have movies like Whiplash, and why are we doing this to action movies? We're giving a bad name to action movies. It's been happening for a long time, but this movie just put it over the top as to how bad it is in its setup. But once the setup is over, which you do not believe at all, and the action starts, the action is actually a lot of fun. You have Statham, he's creative in how he does all this stuff, to accomplish his goals and his tasks. And all the action scenes are fantastic. That's the whole point of the movie, so it had better be fantastic. And the end, you get the typical resolution, which I'm not going to spoil for you here, because there are some twists and some turns that you're going to appreciate. But it's another just plain as day action movie, which, unlike the first Mechanic, did not embrace its R rating, so therefore you're left in a limbo land between PG-13 and R, which begs the question, why make it R then? Don't know why. Because it has to be edgy. And because Deadpool did it, and so because Deadpool got success, now everybody has to be edgy. Not everybody has to be edgy. Deadpool was edgy because that's who the character is. Let's move on, studios. That's it. Only Deadpool is allowed, and Punisher is allowed. That's it. If you're going to have a gritty character, have a gritty character, but have a purpose for him being a gritty character. Don't just have him be a gritty character for no reason. I love Jason Statham. I love his acting. I like his persona. I like who he is as an actor. I don't know him as a person, but he's cool. Come on, give him more to work with. The Expendables are fun, and because you had him bounce off of people. The same with the Italian Job. He was the cool guy, and he bounced off of people like Mark Wahlberg and like Mos Def and Seth Green, and that's why he works. in those kinds of movies. But when you have him like this, going gung-ho, going solo, give him a reason for why he's doing what he's doing. Otherwise, it does not work at all. It just doesn't work. And although it is absolutely entertaining, it doesn't work. The best part of this movie, though, I have to say, having gone through all that, is Tommy Lee Jones. This guy does everything, and he's enjoyable to watch. He is playing a bad dude, a really bad dude, and that's all I'm going to say, because I want you to enjoy him, because this is the one redeeming quality of this movie besides the action. And he's you know, he's having the time of his life. A lot like how he was in Jason Bourne, where he is Tommy Lee Jones. I'm here. I'm doing my thing, and it didn't feel like at all that he was catching a paycheck. It was more, I am in this movie. Cool. Let's do this. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna savor it. I'm gonna give it what I've got, and I'm gonna have fun with it. And boy, does it show, because when he's on the screen with Jason Statham, this is what I'm talking about. The character interaction is the best thing you can do with Jason Statham. And when they're on the screen together and they're talking and they're thinking up things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Why don't you have an hour and a half of this instead of cut out Jessica Alba from the movie, have her like in the credits, do what the Incredible Hulk did, and just tell us that story. The setup, do the setup in the credits, because you're gonna force feed the credits to us anyway. Do that in the credits so that when the story kicks off, we're just with these two guys going on this movie, and that would have been an extremely better film. But it's not, because you have this ham-fisted love story, which is a waste. That being said, like I said, Tommy Lee Jones is phenomenal in this movie. He has fun. He is enjoyable to watch, as always. And the action is great. It's clean. Not only is it clean, but it's fun, and it keeps you guessing as to what Jason Statham's going to do next. There is one thing that I want to comment on, because, like I said, I watch other reviewers, and I watch reviews before I go and see a movie, so that I get a feel for what the movie is. I still go in with a blank slate, okay, and I go in there with a want to enjoy. And I did that with this film, but come on, it's weak. But there's one criticism that it was bugging me, that they mentioned, which was Jason Statham is on this boat, firing this gun. It's a handgun. It's not an AK-47. It's not an automatic by any means. It's a handgun. The dude gets off 40 shots. I think it was in the neighborhood of 36 to 40 shots without reloading his clip. How? Why? Why could you not cut in there, for some common sense, a clip of him going, oh, look, my bullets are out. Reload. Toom, 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 toom. But no. And it shows because the editing is choppy. So, I mean, you could make the case, well, when they cut away from him, he could have been reloading. No. Show it. Show it. Please show it, because it just lacks common sense. And it was one of those things that I heard it mentioned, so I knew the scene was coming, and so I'm sitting there going, I'm counting the bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and by the time I got to like 25, I'm sitting there going, this is a handgun. I know my guns well enough to know this here's a joke, because he should have reloaded a long time ago. But no. 36 bullets in, now we reload. Oh, why? Is it too much to ask? And I'm going to finish with this. Is it too much to ask that our action movies have a little bit of common sense and good plot? Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask that our action movies have good plots and a little bit of common sense. If you are going for it with this movie, now with the Expendables, I understand, and with movies you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but this is a dude who you're building up as this macho dude that can kill anybody, that can do anything, that knows his guns. Okay, have some common sense then. You know, and you know, I watch Marvel movies, and you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but you're in a Marvel movie. You're in the world, and you understand that. Okay, some things, they're not real. Like Infinity Stones are not real, but you know, you're into it. You know, and I want intelligent action movies. I want Dark Knight. I want Winter Soldier. Not in every movie. I want to have some dumb fun sometime, but every movie is like this now, and it's annoying. The only good movies are franchise. Well, I'm not going to say that. When it comes to action, because you have, I don't even know how to put this. I'm just so frustrated by the fact that we don't have common sense in our movies anymore. In the movies that you're supposed to take seriously, you know. But I guess it is what it is. Those are my thoughts on Mechanic Resurrection. I didn't mean to do this like this, but it was just one of those things that it happened, and it just happened that way. But like I said, these are my thoughts. So please comment, like, and subscribe all you want. I really want to know what you thought about the movie yourself. If you went to see it this weekend, tell me what you thought. There were a lot of people in the theater that I saw it in, and I had fun. I'm not going to say I didn't have fun, but there were some moments where they were just devoid of logic. So tell me what you thought. I'm really excited to see what you have to say. I haven't been making a lot of videos lately. I haven't done anything since Suicide Squad, but the movie season is going to pick up here soon with Doctor Strange and a few other films that I am looking forward to go see in the movie theater. So stay tuned for that. Also, coming up will probably be my second thoughts review of Civil War, seeing as the movie is coming out here in the next couple of weeks, and I have already pre-ordered it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm just looking forward to seeing Spider-Man, Black Panther, and then Iron Man and Captain America just fight on the big screen again. That movie was great, and I want to see it again. So keep an eye out for that, as well as I may review some movies. I don't know what's coming out in the next couple of weeks. I haven't been keeping track of it. I just know the movies that I want to see, like Doctor Strange, when they're coming out, and I'm excited for that. So with that said, this has been Movie Critic Rob with the Movie Channel, and I'm signing off.